and foremost, Mitch's last 2 starts he put together. I know this second half All-Star break for him was always a struggle, but how promising were those last 2 starts for him?
Yeah, they're really good. The one in St. Louis, his stuff really seemed to tick up. I know they worked on a lot of good things in between preceding that start in St. Louis, and it carried over to Boston. And I thought he threw the ball well against the Red Sox too. So just looking forward to that continuing tonight.
What do you like about the fact that he had an uptick in strikeouts too? I know a season high in this 2 starts ago, and then 7 after that. What do you like about the way he's striking guys out more?
Yeah, I thought the stuff was really good. The way the fastball played, and then the breaking ball off of it. And honestly, I thought his changeup was better too. So just the way that he's been able to attack with a full arsenal, and they've all seem to have ticked up.
What's key to do it against a lineup like the Brewers, who they don't strike out a ton?
They don't strike out, and I think that's the thing with them. Even though they're not striking out, how do you get ahead? How do you look to attack the strike zone and make pitches and force them to put the ball in play and do sweet contact?
What was sort of the message after last night, when I know you had talked about not really characteristic mistakes on defense, things like that, just to come more and play more of a clean game today?
Yeah, I think in baseball, they work so hard every single day. We see the way that they take their ground balls. The season that we've had as a defense in the infield, when you shower, wash it off, and come back today and continue to play hard.
When you look at Spencer and Nick, I mean, together, they both had a really weird start to the season, basically missed the first couple of months. They return at the same time. How do you quantify, A, the impact that they've had returning at the same time, and B, how do you assess how they handled that adversity at the start of the season to get to where they are now?
Yeah. I think seeing both of them, and Nick dealing with the foot, and then Spencer with the wrist, and how they were able to bounce back, coming back at the same time. Nick has been, we saw last year, him being here, the spark plug that he was for us last year and this year. In the solidifying middle infield defense, and how he was able to do that along with Frage at the time. Definitely a spark plug for us. I think Spencer, the thing that stood out to me is the way that he's been able to adjust, if you will, to a new team after a big trade, coming off an injury, and finding a way to, I think at the beginning, maybe putting a little bit too much pressure on himself to come back and make an immediate impact. And he's really grown into that role, grown into comfortability, if you will, with the team, and adjusting to not trying to do too much, being who he is, and going up there and having good at bats. And they both have been such a huge catalyst for us on offense. You
hit on it a little bit, but what are some of the conversations you have with a guy like Spencer in that spot where this is his first opportunity to be an everyday player? He's out a new team. He's coming off of an injury. What do you say to him to ensure he's not putting too much weight on his own shoulders?
Just try to talk to him through that. When you sit there and you talk about, try to reassure him in the work that when it wasn't going as good, and not that he totally struggled. I think that he was in the 600 something OPS. Now he's got himself up to 720, 730, and driving the ball, hitting doubles, has run into some balls for some home runs. Just reassuring them through that time of, we love you, man. We traded for you. This is, we can't put the cart before the horse and just try to come in and hit a ton of home runs. And be yourself, be who you are, and continue to drive the offense in your way.
Mitch, just circling back to him. He looked okay the last couple of starts, but obviously there's always that second half thing that he's had going on. Do you feel that you guys have identified, A, what that's been over the last few years, and B, given what he's done the last couple of starts, that, all right, maybe we've either figured it out, or if he's now, just because of experience, able to kind of punch through that? Because that's always kind of been a thing.
Yeah, it's always hard to put that out of your mind if that has happened. And I think that after, I don't know who he started against before St. Louis, but it was 7 days that he had in between those starts to really hone in with Oscar and the pitching group on some adjustments. And I would be lying if I knew the exact thing that they did. I know around about some of the stuff that they worked on in between. it seemed like a really good adjustment. And then when you see him go out in St. Louis and stuff tick up, he was hitting 97, breaking ball looked a little bit sharper, and he was able to carry that over to Boston. Some really good signs of adjustments and the ability to be able to stick throughout.
Is that pitch mix? I've just seen a lot of four-seamers the last two starts, maybe a little more so than he has some of the previous starts, maybe more.
Pitch mix, but there was also some mechanical and some things that went into adjusting in between those starts.
And when we talk about the second half, is it just sometimes you get to that point, you get to that workload place where, not to say dead arm, but just fatigue, the wall that you sometimes hit as a player in general, you just gotta kind of punch through. Could that be?
Got to punch through, and I think that hopefully in talking about those little mechanical adjustments that will go a long way to helping him sustain the stuff on it, the extra velo on his fastball and the sharpness to his breaking ball too.
Don, with the departures of Key Bryant and the IKF over the last month or so, it's really opened up an opportunity for Jared Triolo to get some more playing time and whatnot. How pleased are you that the gloves obviously stay consistent, but he's also really heating up with the bat as well during that time?
Yeah, it's been really good. He's been catalyst at the top for us in a lot of ways. The way that he's been hitting and also the way he's been running the bases. And the defense is so consistent and at multiple positions too, which is not easy to do. And he's just been really happy that he's been able to find that groove at the plate, be able to. You talk about a guy that won the Gold Glove last year, got sent down to AAA, took it in stride, worked on it, made the adjustments that he needed to make, and is now capitalizing on that opportunity that he's getting to play.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you.